G'day Bomber fans, 3 in a row, huge away win against the bottom of the ladder Suns. Not amazing opposition, but you can only beat who is in front of you. And more importantly, we now end the round inside the top 8 for the first time this year, so that is massive for the club. Wasn't a great win, nothing to tell the grandkids about, but it brings great news for us. A few iffy things to talk about from the game, but positivity is the theme of the last few weeks. 3 wins in a row. We are looking like a genuinely decent team right now, so that is good. I can't say that about many other Essendon teams lately. Players back from injury, so let's get into the round 6 review, and also plenty of trade and draft news coming at you, so subscribe to stay up to date with that. Alrighty, so the first quarter was a really quiet one to start. We've all year been excellent defensively to start games, and this match was no different. We kept the Suns scoreless. It's the 4th time we've kept a team goalless, and the 3rd time we've kept a team scoreless this year. I think, don't quote me on that, purely off the top of my head, no notes, so I could be wrong. It was a low scoring term though, we only scored late. Amber Clark snapped our first through to give us a head start. The second was much closer, the Suns definitely got the upper hand over us for periods, it's why they kicked 2 goals to our 1. Maddie Prespakis got our second before missing another. We had a few siders, couldn't quite convert unfortunately. We had more chances than the scoreline suggests, quite a few of our marks were outside that sweet 35 to 40 range inside 50, so we've had a few marks inside 50 and just kind of set them up for the Gold Coast defence to feed on. The third was where the game was won. We started really taking our chances. 3 goals zip to Gold Coast just managing it behind. Clark and Prespakis both got their second. Wales got a nice on-the-run goal. 19 points ahead at 3-quarter time. Similar or identical lead to that Sydney win the game before. It was a great quarter. The only issue was the injury to Amber Clark. We don't know how serious that is yet. She was tackled inside 50 and her knee buckled under her a bit, so we're probably going to know by the time this video is out what the issue is there. She'll get scans today, so fingers crossed for that. And the last term, shades of that Sydney game, we went full defensive mode, had to hold on while Gold Coast threw everything at us. I'll talk about that in a bit and the worries that come with that. The Suns kicked 2 goals, we kicked 2 behinds. In the end, it wasn't enough for them. We got the win by 9 points. Probably should have been by more, but can't complain too much. We got the win away from home, our last trip away from Melbourne for the home and away season. So let's talk about this game. Righty, let's kick off with the negatives. Our late game fade outs are becoming a bit of a worry. We have twice in a row led a team back into the game after having the game dead and buried. We led by 18 at 3-quarter time last match and only won by 3 points. I already went over the Gold Coast game. I think something I've noticed is that we start games so well and we start halves so well. Our first and third quarters are great. If you combine first and third quarters, we've won 8 out of 12. If you do the same thing for second and fourth quarters, we've won 3 from 12. And just one last quarter for the year that we've won. We fall asleep if we aren't just coming off a long break. We mentally switch out a bit and give our opposition the upper hand. Maybe it's a fitness thing. We've had some injury worries and whatnot. Some players may be rushing back. Bonnie Toogood returned from her first game, but was probably a bit underdone. Or maybe it's a mentality thing, something I've highlighted a lot on this channel before. So we'll have to see how that plays out, because it's fine against Gold Coast and Sydney, who are poorer teams, but come finals, you need to cut it out of your game and be better for 4 quarters. On to the good stuff. We defend so well now. I feel like we're so much less leakier than we were last year. Last year it was an issue. We had the forward line firing, we had the midfield firing, we had star power up the ground, but down back it just wasn't enough. This year I feel a lot more comfortable watching us play out the back. Maddie Gay wasn't even best on ground, but she just gives us such a level head back there and such a good ball user. Georgia Clark is in unreal form right now. Even youngsters like Gaylor and Van Loon. Van der Heuvel's injured, so that hurts, but we have real presence in that defensive half now. It's whether or not those players hold up against the North and Brisbanes of the comp. We've already seen them struggle against Adelaide. That was tough, but we have some big challenges over the horizon. Our young defence is looking better and better each week, so it's great to see. We again won the game from the source. The midfield battle was a tick to us. +5 clearances despite being -15 in hit-outs. +11 contested possessions, but also +37 for uncontested. +18 inside 50s. +43 disposals. +17 marks. +7 marks inside 50. We didn't completely annihilate them in any one area. We just beat them well enough across the board for our poor conversion inside 50 not to be an issue. We were not great inside 50. Toogood was held down well. Bannister didn't really have the usual scoreboard impact. Half our goals actually came from the midfielders. But because we were so much better just in general around the ground, it didn't really matter in the end. We should have won by more. I said that once or twice, but we got the job done. But yeah, we should have won by more. look, all in all, it's a good win. You can obviously criticise conversion and lagging late in games and maturity and whatnot, but we got the job done. We beat the team in front of us. Another Melbourne belting would have been better, but I think, like I said with the Sydney game in my last AFLW video, these issues that we need to iron out are better to be identified in wins rather than losses. I hope Natalie Wood talks about it in the match review. These are definitely things that we need to fix. We are by no means perfect, not even close, but we're getting wins on the board and getting better as a team. We're in the 8. We have winnable games coming up. I'll talk about our next match in a bit, but we're in such a strong position for the year. The girls are in a much better, well, they are a much better club right now than the boys, that is for sure. They play with a bit of heart at least. So let's highlight the 5 best players and get on to the votes. 1 vote to Alex Morecambe, who was a bit quiet early, but had a really strong second half. She was one of our better defenders throughout the day. Was second best by these votes, but that second half was fantastic. Best she's looked at the club, I reckon. 2 votes to Steph Wales, who had a great battle in the ruck. She lost the hit-outs, but was so much better around the ground. 3 votes to Nanscorn, just so consistent. She was yet again fantastic in the midfield. 4 votes to Georgia Clark, who may well be our most informed player right now. She is a brick wall down back. She was yet again just rock solid in the back half. But 5 votes to Maddie P. After getting bullied on social media, she comes out and faces another tag and just goes sicko mode. 2 goals, 22 touches, 9 clearances. Just had another brilliant game. Is definitely contending for an All-Australian jacket right now. Some unlucky players, Daria Bannister would have votes if she kicked straight. She was really lively. Steph Kane was awesome. Maddie Gay again. I think she could win the best and fairest just because she's always in the top 6 or 7 or 8 players. She's so consistent. But yeah, those are my votes. Onto the overall tally. Overall, Maddie P leads the way with ease. 19 votes. 6 ahead of the pack chasing her. Maddie Gay and Georgia Nanscorn have 13. One more than Georgia Clark, who has rocketed up the order. Daria Bannister has 9 along with Steph Wales. Steph Kane has 8. Vander Heuvel has 7 but is out for the year. And rounding out the top 10, we have Paige Scott and Brooke Walker. Still a few games left, so it's time for someone to chase Prasparkis. It could be anyone in this top 10. Quite a few players contending, so it's good stuff. Alright, quick preview for our next match. We go back to Whitten Oval. 100% win record from there this season, by the way. So we are back there on Friday night to play the Bulldogs. We are the away team this time. The Dogs currently down closer to the bottom of the ladder. They are out of the finals race, I would say. They've played 7 games and won twice. Only percentage is keeping them out of the bottom 4. So we really should be winning this game, even away from home. We also have a longer break now, so no more 3 or 4 day rests. It's a Friday night game. I can't watch right away because of work, unfortunately, so that sucks. But hopefully I get home to rewatch knowing we've got the dub. A win on Friday would ensure we're stable in the 8 for the last 3 games. You need around 6 wins to make finals, so a win would give us our 5th and a really good foundation to end the year. I think we get the job done, not comfortably, but we should be winning this game. Too good against our old team, so it should be juicy. Alright, that is that. Review done. Stay tuned to the channel for trade and draft news coming up. Plenty coming around these next few days. Cheers for watching, guys. Like, subscribe, and as always, go Bombers.